The following is a presentation of Muddy River Sports.
We'd love to have those guys for 100 years. It'll be fun to roll with them and just keep changing the schedule. But no, it's exciting. Exciting for the guys to have opportunities. New guys have opportunities, the guys that work for stuff. So, and from a coaching standpoint, it's a great challenge. I mean, I love sitting back and just putting the quarter in the video game. That was fun last year. But this will be fun too. It'll be fun to watch these guys evolve and grow and develop. And I think there's a lot of talent that's still here, which is why I kind of like to just lie in the weeds and be quiet and then, watch them do their work.
The price paid in this world for consistent excellence is invariably outside jealousy. For 2 years running now, the Blue Devils have not only been the toast of the Western Big Six Conference, but an offensive juggernaut by which teams across the state of Illinois have been compared and contrasted. Graduation robbed Rick Little's offense of a sea of stars back in June, but not opponents' desire to settle old scores and knock a crown off the Devils' collective heads. Which at this potentially crossroads moment in time begs a question. What remains here for Quincy High School? What new strengths can emerge to sustain and grow momentum for a program at its historic zenith? I'd argue sheer volition and deep desire not to be the guys who let things slip, for starters.
I definitely think it's a good thing being an underdog. We're going to definitely show people that we're not last year's team. We're still the same team that we was the years before that.
I mean, yeah, because they don't have any film on us. They don't know anything about us. I mean, we're just coming in unexpectedly.
I mean, that's why I said we don't talk about it a lot from a standpoint of what we lost or what this year's going to look like, because I don't want anybody to know. I want it to be. I want them to figure it out on Friday night, and I feel like we got enough pieces left.
Quincy High still has plenty of arrows left in the quiver. When you can build a defense around two Division I college prospects, in defensive lineman Todd Smith and linebacker Ben Shelp.
And he brings it. You talk about a guy that's physical. That's what makes him fun to coach, and obviously loves to play the game and can go sideline to sideline. And when you got a guy like that, it's a great place to start. And then fortunate for us and fortunate for him, we got a D-line that keeps him clean. So when you sit there and look at our guys that we have, on the defensive line, it's not only are they good and athletic, but they're big and strong.
We have both our corners, Avion and Vel. They're both really good, but linebackers and our D-line are just up front pretty solid.
That's a tremendous starting backbone. And Quincy High's new D coordinator is no stranger to building quality stopping power.
Mason Swisher is going to be our defensive coordinator. Obviously, I've known Coach for a long time. Never really know him, but just knew he was, had coached defense for a long time at a high level, and he became available, and it was one of those things. It was a no-brainer. So that part makes it fun because you just plug in a new guy, and a guy that has a lot of fire still in his belly. So it's fun to watch him go to work. But personnel's different, right? So schemes change a little bit due to what. The type of guys you're throwing out there. But still feel like we got a really good front. Still feel like we got linebackers that like to hunt and a defensive secondary that's continuing to get better and better.
Offensively, the reload for the Blue Devils is a little murkier at the skill spots. The race to replace the record setter, who shall not be named at quarterback, comes down to Q&D transfer Hunter Schuckman and Highland transfer Sawyer Harshberger.
I've just liked the competitiveness that they've brought and the energy everyone's brought each day to practice. The energy just keeps everyone uplifted and gets the practices going and makes everyone just have more fun, and just I feel like we get more done with all the energy we have.
It is, and I mean, again, not that you wouldn't see both, but I think I'm not very good at that. I'll be honest. I'm not good at getting a couple different guys in there at a time, but it doesn't mean that won't happen. It just means that I think you got to settle in. You got to settle in and be comfortable. So that's what we're asking one of them to do that. And the nice thing is you don't lose. Both of them are good players, and so we'll definitely have a good situation there.
And on balance, Rick Little likes his collection of skills guys, even if they aren't household names yet. In point of fact, I point out that if he had not been the number 4 option last season, a Braden Ulrich with his pass-catching chops would have gotten much more respect. One of a handful of guys here whose arrow is definitely on the rise.
They all just come out here and get to work, and they're really hard working. A lot of them are fast, good catchers, and just good playmakers once they have the ball in their hand.
Yeah, no, and again, up front we feel like we're strong and athletic and going to be physical. And then there's a lot of guys in the skill positions that are emerging. Cole Burgess is a guy that played for us last year, and is a very twitchy young man, and you got two guys that played a lot, Noah Wells and Braden Ulrich, that'll be there as well. And then throw Mason Ritter. You got a quarterback battle, but if one doesn't win it, you may see one in the slot. So there's enough guys there that certainly give us an opportunity. And then at running back, Mason Dent is a guy that we really like. Jay was one of a kind, and we've had some one of a kind running backs here, but he's a guy that can do everything. And so I think it's tough to compare and different positions from a year ago, and certainly wouldn't do that, but I think there's enough pieces to be a really successful football team.
And an important reminder that there's also a Division I offensive tackle and plenty of beef around him in play up front in the trenches.
They're all just super big. Lots of them coming back from playing previous years on varsity. So they're big and they're very aggressive up front. They push back the D-line and they protect me whenever I'm dropping back for a pass.
We have a great connection together. Like, we hang out outside of this, we do this and that together. So really good. I think obviously I wasn't starting last year, so I think this year is really going to be a good opportunity to show that I have the skills to be starting and stuff. And I know I've been with these guys since I was younger, so it's like not a problem to me.
How much did the wrestling season you have boost your confidence? Because you went from kind of an unknown to a guy who was a star wrestling-wise. Does that help? Is it translatable out here?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Wrestling definitely makes you better for this type of sport. So it's like, come here every day, getting better. Wrestling was a big part of my life, so was football, but definitely getting better. Wrestling definitely made me better for football.
Does all of that bridge the gaps here? Only time and Boonville on Friday night will tell. But no one here seems particularly daunted in the quest for continued Blue Devil greatness.
As long as we all put in the work and everything, we'll be just as good.
Muddy River Sports. Our home, our sports.